Hey guys, welcome back again. I'm here in my craft room again. I'm still working on my paper craft projects for an upcoming craft fair. And the third one I'm showing you is this cute easel pop-up note, post-it note and pen holder. And I'm just going to show you how to make this. Put that aside. So what you're going to need for your pieces, and like I said before, all of this will be in my blog, as well as there'll be a link to the blog post on this video. You're going to need a piece of 3 pieces of cardstock. This is 7/8 by 4 1/4. You've got a piece that's 3 3/4 by 8 1/4, and then this piece is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. All right, so you're going to also need some DSP. We've got, excuse me, one piece that is 3 1/2 by 4, another piece that's 3 1/2 by 2, and then a small little scrap piece, and I'll show you what we're going to do with this to kind of add to the pen. And that's where, so we're going to start with our scoring. So your 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 piece, we're going to basically be scoring that at 3/8. I'm going to actually do it from this side. I find I work better sometimes going on this side. So we're going to do 3/8 inch and then 7/8 inch. And we're going to rotate this. And this is going to be done on each side. So 3/8 and 7/8. 3/8, oops. Come on. Sometimes it doesn't want to open. 3/8 and then 7/8, and that is on your 5 1/2 side. And along your 8 1/2 side, we're going to score at 2 1/4 and 2 3/4. 2 1/4 and 2 3/4. And I'm going to put this aside for a minute so I can do my other scoring. And on my 3 3/4 by 8 1/4 piece, we're going to score this at 1/2, 1 1/2, and then 2 1/2. Put that aside. And then my small 7/8 by 4 1/4 piece, if I can pick it up, we're going to score this at 1/2 and 1. So 1/2 and 1. That's all my scoring I need. So I'm going to put my platform over to the side. So what we're going to do first on this piece is we're going to be cutting away these 2 side sections here, and then this one little piece here to create our tabs. And then I'm going to say what I did is I cut in on the tabs. I find if I cut in at kind of an angle, it just makes it a lot easier to work with. So I've done that there. Now we're going to be working, of course, on the inside. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is adhere my DSP before I start to assemble. So this is my inside DSP, get that centered, and then I'm going to put this other piece on the front. It's a lot easier sometimes to add your pattern paper to your piece before you assemble it, just from the standpoint of working like that. So that's the way that is for right now. I'm going to move on to the pen piece because we want to put this in before we adhere this the base. So I'm going to kind of give you a peek what this looks like. I don't know if you can see this inside of the box. If you can't, so what we're doing is we're folding this back and then we're folding that forward. So you can kind of see what it looks like. We're going to adhere this here right below my DSP, and then when we create the box, this piece will adhere to the front to create the pen holder. So I'm going to take my tear tape and I'm going to put a piece on the back of here, and then I'm also going to put a small piece on the front of here, and I'm going to add the rest of my tear tape while I'm at it. So I'm going to put the tear tape on the front of each of these tabs since they're going to get tucked in. So here, and on this tab, sometimes it's hard to work with the little tiny pieces. Oops, sometimes it comes off on my finger. Not a problem. So just leave that there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the backing from here. I'm going to line this up to the edge. I actually want it, oops, sorry. Got a little bit ahead of myself. I really want it to be back at the edge. There we go. It should be the same width. So that's that. So fold that back. So right now I've got the start of my pen holder. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start adhering the box together. If my fingertips want to work. If not, I'll pull out my quick pick tool and pull off my adhesive backings. No, I am going to have to pull out the quick pick tool. My fingernails are not working with me, cooperating with me today, so let's just do this. And this here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just bringing this up, tucking my tab in there. Same thing on the other side. So I've got the start of my box. Oops, tape doesn't want to stick. There we go. Now bringing this in here, tucking this behind. And the same thing on this side, tucking it behind. And what I like to do often is I use my bone folder and I kind of go in the box and kind of burnish the piece. So now what you've got is I've got my little pen holder is in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of using my finger to hold it down, and I'm going to use my quick pick tool to take the backing off. I don't want it to pop up yet. So just going to reach in, try to grab that. I'll let it shake it out. So I'm kind of maneuvering it into place using my quick pick tool. And then once I have it basically where I want it, I again use the quick pick tool to adhere it. So now you can see inside here, there's my little pocket for my pen holder. And just shake out the piece. So that's the front. Now the back is fairly easy. So we've got our 3 score lines. So we're going to do mountain fold on one, valley fold on another, and then a mountain fold. So basically this is your backing, that's your scoring. I'm going to put tear tape on here and then on here. Because now we're going to adhere this to the base, to the front, and that creates our easel. So one piece here and the other piece here. So I'm going to take the backing off of this. I'm going to line this up with the top of the front piece and adhere it. And now we've got this. And then I'm going to take my backing off of here. And I am going to bring this in and adhere it to the bottom of my front, just like this. There's my easel. Now all I have to do is decorate it. This is from the Impressions of Bloom stamp and die cut set. I'm going to adhere this on the top. I've got some leaves, and then I've got this I'm putting on the front and the bottom, and then I'm just going to add a few little leaf clusters if my tape wants to work behind my flowers. I like putting flowers up with dimensionals, and then the leaves I'll adhere kind of flat behind it. On here, and you can put as whatever kind of dimensional you want on it. I mean, it's up to you. I just kind of like to add this in this way. So there's that. So a Post-it note pad fits in there, just right in like that. And then I use these RSVP pens. Nice thing about this is, you see, you can fill the barrel with some pattern paper. So I'm going to show you what I do. This piece is about 1 inch wide by about 3 inches long. I just take it and then I just kind of start to curl it and roll it. Sometimes I'll run it over the edge of my desk to get it really curly, to get it really rolling in. But you want to roll it tight as you can. The RSVP pen itself, basically open up from the bottom, take out the ink, and then insert your paper in. And then I just put the ink back. Whoops! Wants to pop off on me. That's not a problem. Just push that in and tighten the barrel. And now I've got my pattern paper inside the barrel. And I've got my RSVP pen in the pen holder part. And now I've got my Post-it note holder. And there is my Post-it note and pen will pop-up easel gift treat for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you really like this.